Business alert, NYMEX crude crossing a critical threshold today. At one point trading above $100, settling at $99.87 a barrel. That's the highest close since June 9th.
And that is 3.9% higher than 1 month ago, which was just one day before the government announced that it was tapping into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to ease rising prices. And with gas prices also on the rise, many are wondering, where's the relief?
Our next guest says prices are going to keep climbing unless we accept that we are an oil-dependent country and we increase production. He's Jim Noe of Hercules Offshore, and I'm interested to hear you say that because you guys mostly drill natural gas too, don't you?
We do, but oil and natural gas have to be the fundamental part of our energy security, at least over the midterm. Over the long term, we should be looking at renewables and solar and wind, so we have a catch-all bag of energy sources. But at least for today and tomorrow and perhaps most of our lifetime, we'll be an oil and gas-based society.
But the SPR release, I mean, we saw a lot of pressure on oil prices at the time when it was announced. But overall, does it really have any impact?
Well, I think,
on global prices or even production?
Well, just look at the numbers. Oil prices, as Liz just mentioned, are up to near record levels, hovering around $100 a barrel. They're up since President Obama announced the decision to release the oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserves. Gasoline prices are up, so it has been ineffective. But really, it was an abuse of the purpose of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. It was intended to be used only in natural crises, times of emergency, not times of political expediency, because gasoline prices are a little too high at the pump during summer driving season.
Well, that decision's made, and as you look forward, how are permits coming along? I mean, it was about a little over a year ago that Fox Business was on your shallow water rig, and we told the story of how permits had dried up. Have they increased, and by how much?
They've picked up some. We're still struggling. Our customers are still struggling to get permits, so we're certainly not out of the woods yet. But Liz, that's exactly what the Obama administration should be looking at. We can't control demand. Demand for oil and gas will continue to increase throughout our lifetime. China, India, Brazil, and the developing nations of Asia aren't going to turn their back on oil and gas. So we can't control the fact that demand is increasing. There is one thing we can control, which is supply. We have vast quantities of supply right here in America, and we're not drilling our own resources. If you think about the release from the Strategic Petroleum Reserves, we import about 10 million barrels a day of oil. We released about 30 million barrels of oil. I mean, that's 36 hours or so of our importing needs. That's a Band-Aid solution. It's really, the Strategic Petroleum Reserve was not intended to be duct tape to bandage over broken energy policies that we have right now with this administration.
And boy, you'd hire a lot of people if you could get more permits, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. In fact, IHS Global Insight came out with a study just yesterday saying the Gulf of Mexico, our oil and gas production would increase our jobs by 230,000 new American jobs if we had the permitting regime that we had before Macondo.
Jim Noe, keep us posted. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on, Liz.